What's up people, Ikari here, and today we are going to take a look at Bloodhound, a fast-paced retro-style shooter with modern graphics. This is not a sponsored video, but I did receive a couple of keys for free, and this is also why we are doing a little giveaway. So if you should be interested in this game, you can get a free key for it on Steam. Anyway, Bloodhound, developed and published by Flint & Kruger Productions, is a first-person shooter heavily inspired by classic shooters from the 90s and early 2000s era, games like Doom, Quake, Unreal Tournament or Painkiller. This game also received a nice DLC recently that makes the graphics really pixelated to capture this old-school feeling properly. I played it however with the normal graphics for this review. Also, one very important thing I should probably mention is this game has some nudity. Booba. On statues and on some monsters. Could be a selling point for some people. You can turn it off though. Well, more like censor it with pixels. So anyway, this story. Is there even a story? Well, kinda. There is a short comic-style cutscene in the beginning, with funny sound effects. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the whole game is actually voiced by the same person. It certainly seems that way. I do appreciate the fact that you get to play as the mascot of Disturbed though, also known as the Guy. So the guy kills a demon, gets a magical ring and goes to kill some more demons. Something about a demon-worshipping cult of Astaroth. Story is really not very important in games like this, it's more about the gameplay. And the gameplay is very straightforward here, one of a shoot first ask questions never type. It's really one arena after the next. The exits get blocked, waves of enemies spawn, and you can't move on until you kill everything that moves. Also, very much like in Doom games, you have to fight 3 different colored keys to open 3 different colored doors. You pick up health and armor and also weapon packs along the way, and occasionally some new weapons. In other words, the classic formula. The reviews on Steam are actually really mixed, and many people complain about the very simple gameplay, and that this game is just about shooting stuff and nothing else. No collectibles, no secrets, no nothing. Well, I guess I was tripping really hard last night, because I was sure that at some point it said "Secret Found" with huge white letters all over the screen. Anyway, there is no controller support, which is on one hand okay, since it's supposed to be a retro-like game, and besides, playing super fast-paced games like this one, where you have to be constantly on the move, is probably better with a keyboard and mouse anyway. However, it is a game released in our modern times, and we should have the choice to use a controller. There is also no map, and the levels are not always linear, so sometimes you will have to backtrack and look for that stupid lever you overlooked, for example. Another slightly negative thing in my opinion are the weapons, because while some look really awesome, like for example the flamethrower chainsaw, I thought during the trailer and thought, oh my god, this is the definition of badassery. Most of the weapons are however really generic. In the beginning of the game, for example, you get a machete that you will never use, a revolver that you will use until you pick up the next weapon, a shotgun, a submachine gun, a crossbow. You see what I mean, right? Some of the weapons also have a secondary fire button, but again, unlike the awesome flamethrower chainsaw, most of the time it's just pull out another one. So instead of one revolver, you can dual wield 2 revolvers for a short time. Oh yeah, and there is also no such thing as reloading or aiming down the sights. This is not really a negative point though, because in this game you really have no time for such things. It's all about constantly being on the moves with games like this one, dodging projectiles and melee attacks, and firing non-stop. Enemies will often spawn all around you, so it's really essential to be highly mobile. So no reload or aiming down the sides is really more like a style choice. What I do find slightly disturbing though is that there are no hands for any weapon. The weapons just hang in the air. Maybe they planned to make this a VR shooter originally, I don't know. The enemies are also fairly simply designed and not very smart. You can, for example, easily pick them off from afar sometimes. Many will also just stand around and shoot. The flying ones can be nimble and annoying, then there are also those that charge towards you and so on. There is a good amount of variety, but of course they repeat over and over. It's more about the sheer numbers. When you have to fight hordes of them, it does become really challenging sometimes. Also, some weapons work better on some enemies than others. For example, those sword bitches have the ability to deflect bullets, it seems, so the submachine gun is not very effective, but the shotguns do the trick just fine. You also get the ability to use demonic powers once you have collected 100 demon souls. Yes, demon's souls. It is kinda underwhelming though, you basically just move faster and do some more damage. Something like a transformation would have been cool, where you shoot fireballs or something, but whatever. You also get to pick up some useful consumables from time to time to help you get out of tight spots, like the adrenaline or the hourglass to slow down time. This is of course very useful. Other than that, there is really not much to say. The gameplay is really old school here, so in other words it is also very repetitive. There are also some bosses, and the bosses are the definition of bullet sponge. It's not really a bad thing though, it feels just like it was in Painkiller from what I remember, and Painkiller was an awesome game. The first boss here, for example, will teleport around, summon minions and throw bear traps. So you have to pay attention where you step while you dodge all those nasty things. So anyway, the verdict is, this is not a bad game if you walk in with normal expectations. It does capture the old school feel well enough and will be able to keep you entertained for a short while, if this is what you are looking for. This game is also not very long, supposed to be around 3 hours, depending on your pace of course. So, if you want to give it a go, I got 2 spare keys, here they are. Grab them while they're hot. Gotta be fast now, first come, first serve, as they say. Also, if you found this review useful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Also make sure to comment, the algorithm liked that. And with that said, thank you all for watching, and see you around.